Welcome back to Real Phonies, where we take a love for movies and television and combine it with very little knowledge about movies and television. I'm your host, Christian. Joined with me, as always, are my co-hosts, Joseph.
Yellow.
And Jehu. Oh, your preemptive movement made me really scared of what it was going to be.
I'm thinking of retiring Kakam. I think I'm going to try something new next week.
I'm excited to hear it.
I feel like that's going to make our small but devoted listener base very sad, but you do whatever you want to do.
It's a new season.
I'm going to try a few things, and if none of them work out, I'll go back to Kakam.
Okay, there we go. We're going to talk about Season 2 of The Legend of Vox Machina, available now on Prime Video.
Yep.
Whole season's out. All the returning players, all the Critical Role cast members back to play their Campaign 1 characters, as well as some cool new guest stars. Lance Reddick.
Sure.
The Fonz.
Yep. Troy Baker. Peregrine
Took. I forgot that guy's name.
I know, I can... Billy something. Billy Boyd?
Billy Boyd, not Dominic Monaghan.
No, it's the other one.
The other one.
One of them's Mary, one of them's Pippin, and it's important that you never find out which one it is.
Well, they're attached at the hip.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are other famous people, but I don't remember who they are.
I mean, those are the ones that I noticed.
The ones I care about.
Yeah, exactly.
Did I hear Terry McGinnis in there somewhere?
Oh, Will Friedle. Will Friedle's in it, but Will Friedle is playing the character he played in Campaign 1 of Critical Role.
He was
Yeah.
He was a guest spot.
Mary Elizabeth McGlynn? Whatever. They were in it together in Campaign 1. But yes, Terry McGinnis is in it. We want to do this by the 4 episode breakdowns, or...
It seems like you had an idea, so that makes one of us.
Oh, wait, steamroll with that.
Yeah.
So the first 3 episodes, one thing I like about this show is I like how they release it. I like the 3 episodes at a time over 4 weeks or whatever. Having said that, at 1 month, and it's
I was about to say it's over.
Sad.
That is sad.
But the first 3 episodes, we get the introduction of the Chroma Conclave, a collection of 4 different dragons who have come to take over Amon, and Vox Machina begins to learn how they're going to defeat said dragons.
Well, first they get their ass kicked, and then
Yes. I know, Hurt, I'm excited to hear your opinion. Did you finish it?
I did. Like Indiana Jones grabbing the hat,
down to the wire.
We were down to the wire.
I love it.
I'm excited to hear your opinion. Joseph, I want to ask you first. You and I have a favorite bit, I know we both share it, which is 19 misses.
Yeah.
How did you think that they translated that in the show? Obviously, you can't say those words.
No, you can't.
They make a nod to
right.
it.
I think it's the cinematic version of it where you have your powerhouse character give his best shot, at one of the guys, and it just bounces right off and doesn't do anything to him.
Yeah.
Which I think is effective in the show of they're pretty tough, but it's so much more fun in the show just because. It's something they've never dealt with before, and Travis is just dumbfounded by it. What do you mean?
There's a hurt for your essay, and for anyone's listening. When the Chroma Conclave attack, their first plan is to fight.
Right.
And he goes to hit the dragon. He rolls a 19, and he immediately starts to roll damage. And Matt says 19 misses, and Travis looks up and he goes, 19 misses. It had never dawned on him
that wouldn't be high enough.
That wouldn't be high enough.
Right.
And it's a really eye-opening moment. It's great. But what did you think of the first 3 episodes, Hurt?
Man, I liked them a lot. The first season, I felt like at times... I liked the first season, but I felt at times, the potty mouth, the adult talk could feel a little forced.
100%.
I could see how totally in the original form that shit was probably off the cuff and hilarious, but in this, it just seemed forcefully edgy. I think they got better at that this season. There was less eye-rolly to it than that.
I would agree. I also think that they I don't know if this is by design or whatever, but they put it into Scanlan's character arc over the course of the season that all of the fart and dick jokes and whatever is his deflection mechanism, and he should be aiming more towards sincerity.
Right.
In the same way that maybe the show should be too.
Right.
By the way, just fucking spoilers. We never said that, but I think we're only going to talk spoilers for this show. But
I can't. You know what? Maybe you have listened to this episode without listening to either our first episode about the first season of this show or watching any of this show.
Actually, one question I wanted to ask, because I don't really remember this about the first season. Were the first season like this in that the monsters were animated different than the characters?
Yeah, when they fought General Krieg, the first 2 episodes of the first season, Krieg is a CGI dragon.
Okay.
Whereas
have you ever tried to draw a dragon? They're hard as shit.
Well, it wasn't really necessary that it was CGI. I just noticed it kind of was trying to do that sort of into the Spider-Verse jerky sort of CGI, and it would look cool in spots, and other spots it would look out of place.
I think it looks better in season 2. I wasn't a fan of it in those first early episodes in season 1. I thought it looked pretty rough. Saying that, I think season 2 all around looks better than season 1 did.
I think it's good in spots and not as good in other spots. They definitely, I think there are a couple of big movement-heavy fight scenes where they pour in their effort, and then there are other episodes where like the mouth bits don't line up good, and there's just some real herky-jerky moments. It's, I don't want to be shitty about this, because, it's probably better for the nice animators doing their jobs, but, I know in Japan they have, like, awful, terrible work conditions and people kill themselves in the anime industry, but that shit looks tight every time. So, maybe there's a middle ground.
Yeah.
That said, the designs on all the dragons look fucking great.
That is a good point. They do a good job of, like, giving them very, like, distinctive looks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I also love that they not that they wouldn't have, but committed to. I feel like most everybody's scared to do a dragon that's not just a fire dragon. I know the D&D movie is also going in that direction, but Legend of Vox Machina got there first.
I'll also say, and maybe I'm not remembering it as well, but the first season, I remember thinking, I don't know how this could have came from a D&D game. Saying that, I've never actually played D&D, but I have a pretty good idea of how it works. But in this, it totally felt like a D&D game. There was, you had to go get items. Those items gave you an upgrade. Those upgrades came with a cost. It felt very fantasy game-ish.
Yeah, I think in campaign 1, or not campaign 1, in season 1, the villains being like, it's very like familial drama. It's this guy's past where his parents were murdered and you're getting revenge, and it's not your traditional let's go kill dragons,
right?
Where this is.
That's definitely I think for the best though, because
I totally agree. That's not a complaint.
I was about to say, if I feel like if you started season 1 with, and then they fight a dragon, the people who would roll their eyes at the whole concept in the first place would roll their eyes at the first episode and never give it a shot.
Yeah.
Whereas the Briarwood arc, it's an interesting like family drama with a lot of like darkness and angst and stuff, and it's fun.
One other thing, I think this happened in the first 3 episodes, and maybe you guys didn't even notice, but this is just a rule I want to make about things. Sometimes, you'll do like a musical cue to sound like another musical cue without having to pay. And I think that's fine. But I think whenever you do Dick Dale's Miserlou, you need to pay the Dale estate. Even though Dick Dale didn't write Miserlou, they're totally referencing Dick Dale's Miserlou.
Yeah.
Anytime you hear, it's always that.
Yeah.
And there's always waves involved.
So in the original campaign, all of Scanlan's songs, and he comes up with at least 100 of them, are covers.
Right.
Like he makes fantasy versions of popular songs, and obviously they can't do that on the show, but I feel like that's supposed to kind of still be a nod to what he was doing. But I can't remember what 2 and 3 did we get to Vasselheim in the first 3 episodes? It's Sunken Tomb.
Sunken Tomb is 3.
Sunken Tomb is 3. So episode 2 we go to Vasselheim. Nice little Caduceus Clay reference there.
I saw that.
And of course you get Terry McGinnis, Will Friedle, and Mary Elizabeth McGlynn bring their characters from the campaign, who they played in the campaign, back. And then we get the big cliffhanger with Vex dying by touching the Matron of Raven's armor. I
feel like the live stream campaign, there is a lot of general sexual energy and tension that happens fairly regularly, but there's also a lot of stuff that's just like, normal rolling dice, looking up stuff, going through notes and whatever. But with the show, considering we're condensing it, it just seems like there's just a lot of that packed in. We introduce fucking Zara and Kashaw, and immediately just everyone trying to fuck each other.
Very horny.
Yeah. That can happen in Critical Role, though, where it'll be fine, and then all of a sudden, like, if you're watching Campaign 3 right now, they went on a 3-episode bit where it was just all fucking. Were you worried about Vex there?
That's what I was about to say. Here's the thing. I totally bought that she was dead. I really bought into that. I had emotions about it. I thought this death is real. When she came back, I was like, I'll never buy another Death. and by the way, I was right.
And just to be clear, that's actually how the players also felt about it,
right? Yeah.
Because they were still very unfamiliar with the mechanics of, because D&D has a mechanic for death and resurrection, whatever, but they didn't really look into it until it happened,
right?
And so
I think the other part of that is Pike in the campaign is not in all of this.
Yeah,
Ashley Johnson was off filming that show,
Blind Spot,
that show, and so Pike is not in there. Right. And I do think this moment actually hits a little bit harder because Pike is in the scene and trying to heal her, and cannot.
Yeah,
I think that's an improvement. Which brings me to a point I want to bring up. This is more different than the first season,
really.
Yes.
And one of those being Pike being present through all of this. And there are other differences we can talk about as we go along. And for example, Grog's story is a good bit different as well. I don't know that it's an improvement. I just think it's a really good adaptation. If you're going to zig when you're supposed to zag, I thought they'd handled it really, really well.
It was a great bit, but I do worry that at some point someone actually is going to die.
Yeah.
And I won't connect with it at all because there's at this point there's so much dying and coming back.
Yeah. So episode 4 is Vex's resurrection, Vex's beginning of his relationship with the Raven Queen.
Yep.
5 is Pyro, which is key. Man, this whole fucking I'm semi-convinced this entire animated series is just the revisionist history redemption arc for Keyleth for all the people that hate her in the stream.
Sure. They make her a badass.
They make her so much better than she was in the game.
So, you probably picked up on this. It's very apparent. Marisha's inspiration for Keyleth is Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Right.
Her mother, Villia, is played by, did you know this?
Is it Korra?
It's Korra.
Yeah.
It is the Avatar.
Yeah.
Right on.
I fucking love that
That's
shit.
pretty sick, yeah.
Yeah. And, I mean, Pyra's a bit that, again, is pretty different because I think it's your first glimpse of Thordak, right?
Yeah.
The first time they go. And that's right. They go to Pyro when they go to Vasselheim the first time.
Right.
So this is happening out of order.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally agree. Yeah, no, it's a cool bit. These are cool episodes. Visuals are fun. Keyleth gets a new outfit.
What's the 6th episode?
Where I basically watched this whole thing in one sitting. A lot of it runs together.
Yeah.
That's where they go back. The 6th episode is where they go back and do the Sphinx thing.
Oh, and the male Sphinx dies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
song fucking kicks ass.
Either that or one coming up later is probably my favorite bit in the show. That was really well done. There's also a thing from it that I'll wait till we get to later, but also that kind of annoys me about it. But that bit where, Scanlan gets to be the hero by being sincere and singing his sincere song, which was a pretty great song. Mm-hmm. Great. Loved it. And the Sphinx was a good character. Sorry to see him go.
Yep.
Having said that, Scanlan is the most different.
Yes.
And I don't know that I like it.
I feel like he needs to have an arc.
Yeah.
And I think they've picked a good one for him. It makes the most sense.
But do you do Bard's Lament?
Yeah.
I feel like you're selling it so fucking hard right now, though. I think the gut punch in that moment.
No, I know. Look,
is it being kind of hidden, right?
We've got time for him to relapse.
I mean, I guess, but that happens immediately after defeating the Chroma Conclave.
Yeah.
So,
we still have 3 more dragons.
Sure, but I think that's all going to be season 3.
Yeah. Anyway. There's a whole other thing that has nothing to do with you, but
So they've still got what I'm hearing is they still got a lot more material for this.
Yes.
Besides the fact that they're also doing a series of the other campaigns.
There's a mini arc, and then there's another arc after the fucking dragons,
which is the big climax.
Right.
Yeah.
We don't really need the mini arc, but it does have the important bit that you're talking about.
Sure, but are you not? I was thinking about this in the car. Do you not do Tyrion?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it would be a shame, but
Tyrion's the fucking best.
Look, we're getting off the rails here. We need to get back on this.
We're in deep.
Yeah,
it is funny because most of the time I don't know what the fuck you guys are talking about when you're talking about this, and it's exciting to know what you all are talking about. So don't go too far off the rails because I was starting to glaze over.
So 7, 8, 9.
Yep.
The party gets split when they're trying to escape Voragal, they plane shift into the Feywild, where Vex, Percy, Keyleth, and Vax. End up in the Feywild, where Pike, Grog, and Scanlan end up in some unknown location, and they have to retrieve the Fenthras bow, and Grog has lost all of his strength.
This was an efficient choice, I feel like.
Yes.
Just 2 big arcs at one time, 2 vestiges at the same time, sort of thing.
Yep. To Hert's point, the original Grog dies here.
Really?
Yeah, they bring him back, but
oh no shit!
Yeah. The sword doesn't take his strength; it kills him.
Yeah,
no kidding.
Which, by the way, the Craven Edge thing, I think they do really well. It's one of the funniest bits. In the show is when just what happens when a big dummy who likes killing things gets an evil sword.
Right.
It's great. It's good stuff.
I'm glad they did the bit with him taking a shit.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
I always like splitting the party.
Yeah.
That's
rule number 1 in D&D, bro.
Right.
Don't split the party.
Go ahead.
This is the episode of Troy Baker, right? He plays her father.
Yep.
Who they make out... I mean, he's a dick.
Yeah.
They make him out to be a real big dick.
Yeah.
He is completely unlikable. Like, I can't even see how you would redeem that character.
Yeah. And I feel like the Percy giving her the title bit plays better in the campaign.
Yeah, I agree with that.
With making him not give a shit at all, I feel like it undercuts what it means to Vex, but it's good.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a piece of trivia. The I'm on My Way song, which also a fucking banger.
Right.
They recorded in October of 2020.
Okay.
Which shows you how long they've been in
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, look, I think particularly the Feywild part is not like my favorite bit. I think it's kind of just it feels the most D&D in the sense of just like, oh, we need to go to a place to get the thing, whatever. Right.
Every episode of The Mandalorian.
Oh yeah, it's kind of every episode of The Mandalorian. The Western stuff is a lot better, probably just because it has that personal connection with Grog to it. I don't think the Vex stuff lands as hard as they want it to.
Yeah, agreed. That brings us to the final 3 episodes, which is kind of a conclusion of... Go ahead.
I want to say first, we didn't mention Pike's dad.
Yeah.
There's no way that character wasn't modeled after the Dungeon Master on the 80s cartoon.
I mean, certainly in the way he's drawn in the show, is definitely...
Yeah, no, I'm saying the design of the character.
Yeah. That's where Henry Winkler is. He plays her great-great-grandfather.
Sorry.
Yeah, no. It's in the show, in Campaign 1. They don't stay consistent with actually who he is.
Okay.
And then the final 3 episodes, we kind of get a conclusion to Grog's big story where he gets the Titanstone knuckles and he faces off with his uncle, and they fight Voragal. These are the best 3 episodes of this.
For sure.
I mean, my favorite bit is where Grog challenges his uncle. When he's diminished, it was a cool moment.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. Like, I don't know why I doubted, because this is a good fucking episode of Critical Role.
Yeah.
When he fights Kevdak, and I thought this was damn near perfect.
It's very good. Yeah. No, it's one of the best. There's a certain, maybe there's not, I don't know how it feels from the outside, but I feel like there's a certain amount of drama drain from watching, a show like this, because on some level, how it's going to end. Roughly most of the people are probably going to survive, if not all of them. The good guys are probably going to win, the bad guys are probably going to lose, but there's a lot of chance happening in that particular battle, and it was damn close. The big bit where Grog comes down and splits Kevdak in half in the show, he's at 1 hit point. So I mean, it was damn close.
Yeah. And tying it back to Earthbreaker Groon, I think, was a really smart choice. That, again, taking away Grog's strength, and I might be remembering that is exactly what Earthbreaker, where does your strength come from? All of that wraps that bow up really, really fucking well in that moment, and it's really good.
That's the one where I think they put all the effort into the animation, was that Kevdak fight, because everybody looks incredible.
It looks great.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the Vox Machina fuck this shit up, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's a great line.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
At dawn we plan.
At dawn we plan. I was curious how you felt about there's, I don't know, a fairly substantial change. Well, I don't know. Do we want to talk about, actually, I want back one more step up before I move to the Umbrasyl. How telegraphed was the Scanlan daughter thing to you?
Actually, it really wasn't telegraphed to me. I thought there was another layer to her, but I thought she was probably an evil character in disguise.
Okay.
I don't know her name, but the
Kaylee,
bitch with the orb.
Yeah.
Oh, Ripley.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know Ripley is like following them.
They do not spend enough time reminding us who Ripley is.
They do not.
No, I forgot who Ripley was, and I watched the show.
So what I was going to say was, we know Ripley is like around-ish because of when Percy visits, oh my god, what's his face? The black powder dealer.
Yeah.
But she does not have the prominent role that she does in the show.
Right.
They just keep finding little breadcrumbs of like knowing that she's been there, sort of thing.
Yeah, and I'm glad I've been wondering how we were going to introduce Kaylee. I'm still glad they did the Scanlan almost tried to fuck his dog.
Yeah,
Right,
absolutely.
That's a
It's
great
on brand.
bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it lands on the show as well. But and then the last is the Voragol fight, which you seem like you're about to ask.
I do. So I'm perplexed about this because I feel like the show has weird limits on what it thinks that we can accept as like the rules of this world. Because it's like we want to be pretty authentic to D&D. We want to make sure that it feels,
but they don't dimension door.
Right, like they don't have stakes. So in this one, and kind of back to your having the poop dick humor or whatever, is they go right up the butthole,
Right,
and solve it that way. Which I think it's fine. Like I don't have a problem with it. But
at least it genuinely had a place in the story.
Sure,
Right.
yeah.
I thought Voragol's reaction was funny.
It is funny.
If you ever wanted to see a dragon get fisted, now you have.
But in the stream, the way that they do it is there's like a short distance teleportation thing where they can go, I don't know, that's like 50, 60 feet. It's not infinite, whatever. Right. And they just get close enough, and they dimension door inside of him. And they don't know where inside of him, so it's just like completely dark. They're like pushed in by like organs and shit, and that's where they put that immovable thing. But like they can't move either. They can't move. They can't breathe. They can't see.
Yeah. And every round they're just taking they can't do any damage really, and they're taking damage.
Yeah. Right. And I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know if they thought this was more interesting to see. I think that's also pretty fun. I think that would be pretty fun to animate.
Yeah, I feel like they've really, I don't know if it's just cheaper in that we've done Bigby's hand now and we just fucking retool it every episode, but I would have also preferred you actually do the dimension door in there. But that's kind of a nitpick. Also, Voragol caring about the vestiges, that's new. I don't know why.
I don't understand what that...
Unless he's trying to overthrow Thordak.
Maybe it's supposed to be, foreshadowing or whatever, laying the groundwork for Ripley, who's also chasing after the vestiges.
That's true. Ripley is chasing after the vestiges.
Yeah, so I don't know either. But it's a good fight.
Yeah, it's a good fight. It's a good episode, but the Kevdak fight.
The Kevdak fight's better. Yes, it's not as good as the one.
100%. Yeah, that was the peak. I would also say the problem I was going to say I had with this fight is I don't feel like Scanlan should have been the hero of the Sphinx and the hero of this. Mm-hmm. It seemed like it almost made it feel like, well, what are these other guys even doing here?
So this is kind of my problem with the show. Mm. Scanlan is the fucking hero.
Right.
Like when you watch campaign 1, there's probably 7 or 8 fights they don't make it out, if not for Scanlan.
Yeah, really.
He really is the powerhouse of the group, and they've totally fucking sidelined him through the first 2 seasons of the show, except for those 2 moments.
Right.
I mean, the thing that I think the show does disservice, I don't have I think they're trying to give, every dog his day kind of thing in the show, and I think that works fine. I'm not opposed to Scanlan having 2 this season. Percy got a lot last season. We got time for this shit.
I mean, the first season definitely was, I remember that of it. It was mostly Percy.
Yeah. It's Percy's story. But I think one of the things that they undersell for Scanlan specifically, like you're right, they changed a lot of things with Scanlan, because his personality, they're toning it down because he is very much just like mostly just the comic relief. But in the combat, and this is kind of what makes his character, his class so dangerous, is that he's very like tactical. Right. And so he just comes up with really creative solutions to these weird problems with these weird fights that they're in, and we don't really see different. We don't see that tactical part of it. We just see the big purple hand solving every problem most of the time.
Yeah, There's a bit that I don't think we're going to do in the show that I think is a good example of what Joseph's talking about, where he can cast essentially a mansion, and only people he allows to go in the mansion can come in.
Right.
And so literally they just stand at the door, they fucking fight, and they go back inside. And they and that's it. It's your turn, you go out the fucking door, you fight, you go back inside. Right. And no one can get in with them. And it's just evidence that, like, these guys would be way outmatched with this dude, without this dude.
Right.
But the show, and I don't know if it's like Bard magic also seems really hard to translate.
Yeah, sure.
But it's one of my big frustrations because I fucking love Scanlan.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, that thing you just explained, though, it does seem like they could turn that into a funny bit.
Yeah, I just don't think they're going to do that bit in the show.
I feel like there's room in the show for there to be two smart people, but they've just decided that Percy is the smart one of the group.
Right.
Yeah, but also Percy's so incompetent.
Yeah.
Like, I remember an interview with Taliesin, and he was talking about how, like, he was talking to an actual, like, gun maker, and he was explaining his idea, and the guy's like, yeah, that shit would never work. And Percy's like, Talison's like, have you never watched the show? The shit never works.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, that's the point.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of the things of minor quibbles is, Percy's got the two guns. He's got the little pistol, and he's got, like, the big sniper rifle.
Right.
The big sniper rifle has one of the best names, I think.
Yeah, never heard.
And they never name it or reference it in the show, which bums me out. The name of it is Bad News, because nothing comes faster, right. Which is fucking sick. That's a great name.
Yeah. Overall, I fucking love this show.
Yeah. I now that it's real, now that we've gone through a whole season, and I have accepted that this is not just a dream come true, and this is just a thing that's going to happen now, I feel like I can be a little more critical of it. I feel like there's a lot of little details, and not like things that they should have adapted that they didn't from the stream, but just like little like writing choices or visual choices that I think could have made things more interesting. That I don't know. I feel like there's time for. I just don't know why they don't do it. Like there's the bit where Vax is in the Raven Queen temple. And he goes in the pool of blood and he's sinking, and then he tries to swim out. Like, I feel like if you just had a couple, like 1 or 2 more seconds of him like struggling with kind of this, oh no,
right.
I can't get back up.
Right.
Like, that's more dramatic, but he almost immediately just like, oh, I accept it. I know what I'm supposed to do here.
Right.
Which I don't know why, like you had time to do that.
Yeah.
You know that would have been a more interesting choice.
Yeah. I mean, certainly I don't think it's perfect. I don't really watch a whole lot of adult animation anymore. I know you guys are still on the Rick and Morty train.
Look, we've talked about this, especially this season, with a little bit of my bias, I think, to the side. This is not too far off Castlevania. You know, like they're definitely like put next to each other in categories.
And I like them both a lot.
Yeah, I know.
I don't think it's quite as horny as Castlevania is. But I think it's a really fucking good show.
Yeah.
I really like it.
Yeah, I'm happy there's at least going to be 2.5 more seasons, probably. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, from what you guys say, it sounds like.
I'm guessing 2 more seasons, but maybe they'll do 3.
Yeah, I would guess 2 more seasons. Or you do 1 season and 2 movies. I don't know. Like, there's definitely more story to tell.
Right.
Even outside of defeating the dragons. I think, for example, you can't do everything you did with Vax this season unless you see the story through.
Right.
Because Vax's shit gets very real after this, and you're teasing it very hard.
Yeah.
But anything else?
I'm good.
I'm better than Transformers.
Yeah, better than Transformers. Can't wait for the next one. Hopefully it doesn't take quite as long.
It's going to take a year. I mean, I
know.
accept it.
A year's fine. Is that how long it took for this one?
Yeah.
I thought it was... No. But yeah, that's Legend of Vox Machina Season 2. If you haven't watched it on Netflix, it's weird that you've made it this far.
It's on Amazon Prime.
That's what I meant. If you haven't watched it on Amazon Prime, it's weird that you made it this far, but you should go back and watch it from the first season. It's pretty breezy. I mean, you watched it like all today.
I mean, even if we spoiled every second of it for you, it's just a really nice looking show.
Yeah, better than Transformers.
Cool.
What have we been watching the past 2 weeks, guys?
So there were several movies I missed while my wife and I were on the road last year. And one of them that I made absolutely no time for, I have also put off watching for far too long, but I was just so damn bored on Sunday. I watched Jurassic World Dominion.
Oh boy. I still haven't seen it.
So I just want to throw out there my props to old Colin Trevorrow that he was able to make a movie that I mean, like, I have no ill will against Chris Pratt.
Right.
I know a lot of the internet, it's cool to hate Chris Pratt.
Right, no, totally.
I don't hate Chris Pratt. He's
Sure.
fine. Got my gal in it, old BDH.
Right.
Brings back the big three in a real way. I mean, Ellie has not been featured really in a movie since the first one.
Right.
She's in 3, but...
It's like a cameo, basically.
And obviously, Ian Malcolm is in the last Jurassic World movie. Also kind of a cameo.
Right.
Fucking Grant hasn't been in it since 3. And he was able to do all of this and make me not give a shit about this movie. Like, I mean, I wasn't ever motivated to watch it, and then now watching it, I'm less motivated. Like, if I could give myself the lack of motivation I have now to my past self, I wish I could. It's so fucking bad. It's really bad. Like, the amount of time that Grant and Ellie spend with dinosaurs is maybe 10 minutes in a 2.5-hour fucking movie. And that's just unacceptable.
That is stupid.
It's unacceptable.
Because, I mean, honestly, again, I'm with you. You know, I almost feel bad for Chris Pratt because he seems so depressed that the internet hates him. It really seems to have defeated him. But, I don't give a shit about the new cast. I want to see the old guys rock again. So hearing that is not motivating me to watch it anymore.
The enemy of this movie, you know when they released that, like, big IMAX trailer and it was, like, 5 minutes long and it was a T-Rex, like, rampaging through a drive-in or something.
Right.
None of that is in this fucking movie.
Shit.
There's already an answer basically for the dinosaurs. They've already established all the predators. They've moved to one location. So you're not a fucking risk of nothing. And having said that, the enemy of this movie, I shit you not, is giant bugs.
Really?
It is locusts. There are mutated locusts now. And that's what everyone's out to stop. The dinosaurs just also kind of happen to be there. You're not trying to solve the dinosaur problem. The dinosaurs are not the bad guys of the movie.
Right.
It's fucking 2-foot-long locusts. Fucking grasshoppers.
Just what I came to see a Jurassic Park
Dude,
movie for.
it makes me so mad. Dodson's back for some stupid reason, which no one gives a shit. That bit is fun in the first movie. Dodson, it's Dodson, everybody. But that's all I need. I don't need him to be the secret big bad all along of these 6 films. Fuck this movie. It's trash. It's worse than Transformers. I wish you guys would watch it so you could bitch with me about it. It's terrible.
Right on.
Fair enough.
I also finished the National Treasure show, and it's really bad as well.
Yeah.
That's been a good week for you.
It's so disappointing.
Got 3 things to talk about. The first one's a plug. I was on another podcast this week, More Than Meets the Guy. My friend Ed and his friend Evan have a podcast about the old Transformers cartoon where they watch it every week and watch an episode every week and do a thing on it. The premise is Evan is a super fan and Ed doesn't really have a connection to it. And that, on top of which the Ed is just a, top shelf curmudgeon. Like, just is so good at disliking things. Makes it a pretty fun podcast to listen to. But they did a special episode this week about something near and dear to our hearts, Michael Bay's Transformers. And I was on it, and it was a good time. Check it out. Check out all their episodes. It's a good show.
More Than Meets the Guy?
More Than Meets the Guys.
Okay.
But yeah, and one other thing I'll mention about, one of the things I like about it is they do try to come at every episode of how I think about it now and how I would think about it when I was 8. Which is really how you got to look at something like that, because it's ridiculous when you watch it as an adult. The second thing, just an observation. Sarah went to hang out with some of her friends last night who were Gen Z, and they wanted to watch a movie. And, there was some things thrown around like Mamma Mia, but one of them was insistent they watch The Phantom Menace. So Sarah says to this girl, I was like, that's a pretty long movie to start this late. And she says, it's only 2.5 hours. But that's what I think Gen Z, they've lived an entire life without the 90-minute movie.
Yeah.
They don't know. They think that 2 hours and 30 minutes is reasonable.
Yeah.
That's horrifying. Last thing I'll talk about, every once in a while, I'll do these things where I'll start to rewatch something. And I I think the reason why I always fail is for the rewatch to be rewarding, you got to burn through it. Like, the whole point of the rewatch is you watch a bunch of it together, so you see the little connections that you didn't see when you were watching it the first time, and it's fun. And I just never have the time to do that anymore. But I started rewatching Justified, and I will definitely be finishing this. It's so goddamn good. And what's great about it, besides the fact that every episode, of course there's an overarching story throughout the seasons of the whole show, but every episode also has a beginning and middle and the end to that story too, which I love. But also, plot doesn't even really a thing with it that you got to carry about, because it's just the performances are so great and the dialogue is so badass.
It's just so cool.
It's just so cool. There's just so much swagger.
Yeah.
Like you see Raylan and you're like, you can't get more swagger than that. And then the next scene you see Boyd and like, yes you can.
Yeah.
And it's just back and forth. It's so goddamn good. Better than Transformers. I think it's moving up my list on maybe being one of the best shows ever.
That's fine. Well, how far are you?
I'm still in the first season, which I cannot wait to get to the second season. The second season
the best season.
Is the best season.
Yeah, no doubt. It's funny you say that because the algorithm feeds me Justified clips still regularly.
That's what got me started.
Oh yeah, 100%. I get it. But my favorite thing is I realize that now, coming back to it, there's a great bit. I don't know. It's in season 3 or 4 where Raylan's shaken down kind of like a regular villain. It's Win Duffy.
Right.
And he beats him up and then takes a bullet out of his gun and drops it on him and says, the next one's coming faster. and then like 3 episodes later, I forgot about this. They do like an internal investigation where they find the bullet. And I love that the writers recognize that was a cool enough line that we get to do this twice. Like, we should come back to this.
Like, he has to talk about it in an interview and stuff. Yeah, it's fucking great. And Win Duffy's great on the show because he's probably the only character with no swagger.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you could say the same thing about Dewey Crow, but Dewey Crow at least thinks he has swagger. Yeah, but fucking love that show. Way better than Transformers.
Way better than Transformers. I love it. I've totally forgot we got emails, so I'm going to just
right on.
Throw these in here in the middle. So they're from Trey. Thanks again, Trey.
All right on.
He had a couple notes for us. He said that on an earlier episode, Hurt said that listening to a podcast is the closest thing you can do to being a ghost while alive. And he said he felt that very strongly watching listening to our best music biopics, which was a hot fucking minute ago. When we didn't mention the Jacksons' An American Dream, and we had just never heard of it, I guess. And I still haven't heard of it, but I'm sorry. I assume it must be good if you're mentioning it in, so I will look into it.
Actually, I think I have watched that.
Yeah.
I think it is good.
That's not very convincing.
Well, I'm not entirely sure I watched it. I either watched it or I watched ads for it, one or the other.
I
can remember little scenes from it.
Fair enough. And he's rewatching the Justice League Unlimited show from which is great. And thought that the Wonder Woman 84 plot should have taken inspiration from there's a plot in Justice League Unlimited where I think it's one of the other Amazonians named Arisia, I think, who's like the man-hating Amazon who comes in and spreads the disease to kill all men.
Right.
And Wonder Woman has to go and stop him. I mean, look, those are good 2 episodes.
I agree, too.
I do think that those 2 episodes are better than Wonder Woman 84.
Oh, well, I mean, I think everything's better than Wonder Woman 84, but I definitely think those would have made a better Wonder Woman movie than that did.
Yeah. My favorite bit of those, I think it's 2 episodes. In those episodes is, all the men get sick, so it's all the female leaguers and whatever who have to go stop the whatever her face is. My favorite bit is that both Superman and Martian Manhunter also get sick, which I like to think they're just doing out of solidarity.
That did remind me of a thing also from the podcast that I guested on. There's a visual component to it. So if you ever want to see some of my cool stuff, it's behind my head.
Look at that.
Oh,
if you think Hurt probably has some cool stuff, you're right. The main thing I was thinking about that is I'm having some real problems with my Justice League Unlimited toys. Those guys just do not want to stay up.
I see.
What every man in his 40s struggles with.
these days.
Yeah.
Also, Trey, since we just talked about this, Trey also is talking about he's coming across the episodes where you're trying out your intro sounds before the cacaw.
Oh, wow.
and is enjoying some of those also. But I do think the cacaw is a classic.
So wait, I just have to ask before you get started. Is this annual movies I watched on a plane time?
It is annual movies I watched on a plane time.
All right.
It's also just part of the year where, man, I've been spoiled for 2 solid years. Since the end of 2020, anime has been fucking banging. Just every fucking season has been like 6 or 7 seasons that are great. And then like probably a few more that are good enough that I'll watch them.
Can I ask you something real quick?
Yeah.
That reminds me. I can't listen to our show because I can't stand the sound of my voice.
Sure.
What's the anime I was supposed to watch from last time?
Mob Psycho 100.
Mob Psycho 100.
I'll send it to you
You
in text.
promised the next time
I
we
forgot
met.
what it was, and I can't listen to the goddamn show because I hate my own voice.
See, it's not as catchy of a name. One Punch Man, you remember that. You know what the fuck that's about. Anyway. So yeah, this is Joseph's annual movies I watched on a plane. The first one I watched was, I feel like it came out like this time last year, and I was wondering why it did, because it had good people in it. And it seemed like something I'd really like, called See How They Run, starring Sam Rockwell and Saoirse Ronan.
Right.
It's like a sort of Wes Anderson-inspired whodunit. And it sucks. It sucks so bad. This should be my absolute favorite movie.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, it's fucking Sam Rockwell, my favorite actor of all time.
I mean, yeah, you are the president of his fan club.
Yeah,
He
and
loves
you have
Saoirse
been
Ronan too.
Saoirse Ronan, who I would trade my wife with in a heartbeat. She knows. And, you know, just like a shit ton of twee and meta commentary, but it's just awful. It's borderline. That's not unwatchable, but I did not enjoy it.
Yeah.
Which is, it's a low standard on a plane. You know, you don't have to really enjoy something on a plane to, like, feel like it was worth it. But,
Well, I mean, that's a phenomenon.
Yeah.
Like, people on planes feel the emotion. Like, you're more likely to cry during
Yeah.
a movie on a plane.
it was bad. Anyway,
I think I said this the last time you talked about watching
That's
movies
probably
on planes.
true. See How They Run worse than Transformers. The other movie I watched, was a little bit older, I think, is an Anya Taylor-Joy vehicle called Emma, which I think you've seen.
I've seen Emma.
I fucking love the shit out of it. Is it based on anything? Do you know?
Yeah, it's a Jane Austen
Is it
book.
okay? It's a Jane Austen book. Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was based on a Victorian novel or if it was just like inspired by.
And there's a other film adaptation from the 90s with fucking, what's her name? She sells vagina candles.
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Gwyneth Paltrow?
Yeah.
I was gonna.
You're like, I have the candle.
I was gonna say Keira Knightley, but you're right. It is
Yeah.
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah. It's fucking really good. It's one of those things, I don't know. I don't think I've just ever been exposed to any of these, really. You know, like I didn't watch Pride and Prejudice or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I still feel like as an external viewer that I kind of get what it's about, but I was like, you know, it's fine, but it's not really for me. I watched this, I was fucking in it, you know? Like, whatever the love interest name is, I loved him too, you know? Like, can't wait for them to get together. And I don't know, I haven't watched any of Bridgerton, but I just feel like fucking makes it worse, you know? Like, I feel like that's the whole point of this, is that they don't.
They can't fuck.
I know, and that's what makes it good, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it is better if they fuck. I don't know.
The funny thing about Emma is I have like you never watched those things before. You know, adaptations of books that were meant for women.
Yeah.
And so like Little Women, Emma, these remakes the last few years, I have fucking loved them.
it.
My wife, who grew up watching and reading these things, fucking hates
That's
them.
really funny.
She can't stand them. But yeah, I'm all in. Emma's a great movie.
Yeah, it's really good. If I had one complaint, not enough Bill Nighy.
Yeah, always.
Yeah. But yeah, that's most of it. On the way back, I watched Temple of Doom, which is exactly how I remembered it. And then I didn't have enough time to watch a whole movie, so I just watched as much Whiplash as I could.
Always a good decision.
It was a great decision. That shit's catnip for band nerds like me.
I have watched Last Crusade 3 times in the last month. This shit's just on TNT like every night right now, and I'm like, oh, fuck it.
Right.
Jeopardy or Wheel of Fortune ends. I'm like, I can do fucking Last Crusade again.
My buddy Zach, he participates in some like costuming parade in New Orleans. I forget what it's. Chewbacca's is what it's called, and
Wow.
they do an Indiana Jones crew, and I've done it 2 times before, but I've just gotten too wigged out to be in a parade. Like I get freaked out in it. Yeah. But Sarah just went without me this time, and we watched a lot of Indiana Jones leading up to that, and that is a good time.
Yeah, always fun.
Chewbacca is a great name.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a
Top-notch
great
stuff,
name.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a great pun. I mean, all around works.
But I think that's it for this week. Ant-Man next week?
Ant-Man,
it comes out
question mark? Today.
tomorrow.
Tonight.
Today, whatever. Fuck you.
When this podcast comes out, Ant-Man will already be in
That is
theaters.
true. We should just talk one day. Oh yeah, fuck. I skipped another thing in the email, even though it's right above the email. Trey also suggested as a potential episode topic, Oscar Isaac versus Pedro Pascal, which is one of those things where I love the idea and I get where you're coming from, but the problem is Pedro Pascal's so much more recent.
Yeah.
Like he's really like taken off. Even like Game of Thrones was only kind of his liftoff,
right?
And like I was really only seeing the dividends of that in the last like 5 or 6 years. Whereas Oscar Isaac has been working for a hot minute,
right?
I also have the controversial opinion that I'm not sure either of them have ever made great shit, but I love them in everything. Like, I mean, Last of Us is great, so Pedro Pascal's get in there, but like, I love Oscar Isaac's in that Zack Snyder piece of shit.
Yeah.
But that's a Zack Snyder piece of shit. You know what I mean? Like, name me an Oscar Isaac. Oh, never mind.
You know what it's going to be?
I know.
I was about to say, you're just walking right
Yeah, I stopped myself. I know.
All right.
Fuck. Okay, one.
I mean, definitely, they have a similar charm, so I could see them versus. Probably Pedro Pascal gets a leg up for me just because he was on Law and Order once.
Okay.
You guys know how I love Law and Order. But it was so long
And
ago.
Buffy.
What?
And Buffy.
Yeah, and Buffy, right. His Law and Order was so long ago that he didn't do it. You know, like usually when you see someone you recognize on Law and Order, oh, that fucking guy did it. Because why would they pay a known actor
Yeah, he
to
was
not
just
do
unknown.
it?
He was just,
Yeah.
He was just lifting boxes.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So Ant-Man next week.
Yeah.
Thanks everybody for listening. Please rate, subscribe, tell your friends about the podcast. Tell us anything you think about Critical Role or Legend of Vox Machina or anything related to it. We're happy to talk to you about it.
If you have ever tried it because Joseph and I talk about it incessantly,
please,
I need to know.
I also need to know.
Even if you stopped, I just need to know that you tried.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like if you did like a pie chart of what's been talked about the most on this show, that has to win, right?
Without a doubt.
I mean, you know, relitigating Star Wars movies, relitigating the Snyderverse shit, you know, would be close, but that has to be the winner.
Probably.
But yeah, take rate, subscribe, tell your friends about the podcast. Thanks to Zach Evans for art and Brian Velasquez for our theme. We'll see you guys next week.
Later.